if you are really sound knowledge into the middle layer, I mean your ORM layer, and even though up to your custom API layer. It doesn't matter API is a REST APIs or SOAP based API or gRPC based API or GraphQL based APIs. Doesn't matter. If you are sound good, just fit. This is your middle layer developer. So this is the backend developer, SQL developer, and this is your middle layer developers. And then this is the part, the front end developer. So this is the left side, the front end developer, and the right side is front end developer. On top of this, your development, depending on the platform. So that means depending, you need to synchronize where you have the potentiality, or you itself you have potentiality. Which part you fit together, or which part you can work comfortably. Or you can think about, okay, no, I am the full stack developer, then I can do every part of the developments. That's also true. That's because if you are working with a small company, I mean, say small company size be 10 to 15, and it's still a small company, then your job to as a full stack developer, you need to be prepare your backends, you need to prepare your the APIs, and then you need to be build your front end, the GUI part. That's I mean the full stack developer. Even though if you are the full stack developer, then the deployment is an important part. You build a microservice, you need to deploy this microservice in different machines, or the client machines, or different servers. And even though when your front end technology is done, then you need to still deploy the applications into the client machine, or client thousands of machines. You need to be install the microservices, you need to migrate your databases, install the databases, and you install the your Java and Groovy, and then your UI applications, or your front-end applications. That means that means you need to be do as a full stack developer. As a small company, you need to be as a DevOps. So your job to develop it and deploy it into the client machine. That's I mean. If you are working with a big company, then there is a specific definition, a specific workflow or definition of peoples. That means your job to build a front end, that's you're done. You might, if someone is responsible to build the APIs, that's his job to build the APIs. He cannot think about what the front end technology works, which front end guy is doing what. He's building just APIs. Some guys are responsible to the build your backend servers to migrate the databases and so on and so forth. He is builder, the backend developer, the SQL developer, and some guys is responsible for the deployment. I mean the DevOps. So you build your applications. Doesn't matter is a Docker image or is a jar files, depending. And then you put this jar and Docker image to the installation department, and they will install the application what they need. How many machines they need to install, their jobs. But as a beginner, as a full stack developer, as a small company worker, as a developer, then you are responsible. You need to learn how can you do this one from the very beginning, developments, and then deployment and installation. All things you need to be yourself. That's I think it is hard, but you need to get to learn it. How can we do it? That's why I'm trying to give it to you really abstract level overall idea in the enterprise level or in the professional life what we are doing. What is need to be thinking models, how it works. So different part of the developments is responsible for different developer. If you are in the full stack developer or a small company, as a developer, small company you are working, then you have to be think about complete architecture, complete process up to development to the client machine installation, or even though in the support level or management level, in support level, the software you are responsible. That's I mean. So that's the important part that I already discussed in my previous screencasts. And then this is the one of the things you see, the SQL databases, PostgeSQL, MySQL, Oracle, and so on. There's a lot of templates available: JDBC template, Hibernate template, JPA template, simple JDBC template, and and so on and so forth. And the non-SQL world, you have also the database specific templates like Mongo templates, Cassandra template, and Redis template, Elasticsearch template. That means it's closer to the database specific. if I that's what I said. That's I said in the my screencast here. This one, like here. This is the sentence like no code repository pattern for the good operation. That's I mean. So if you are depending which database you are, just simply integrate this repository into the your domain model or entity models, and it works simply you do CRUD operation. I will show you. I already started the development. This is the development pictures here. Go there. So I started the developments here. So 2 projects, 2 microservices for 2 different purposes. I will explain you later. Sorry. So we are here. So that means depending on the microservices, depending on the databases, which databases you are, my example will be the PostgeSQL MySQL, and I did like many microservice implementation, customized microservice implementation. MongoDB, you can go to the my screencast number 27 and 14 with the MongoDB database, and I built some health related customized REST endpoints. I just build endpoints, microservices, and deploy the endpoints into my machine, local machine. And I didn't build the GUI for that one. But some example, I had it already, some integration for those microservices into the GUI development, with Grails or some timely for PMarker. Cassandra microservice, I already exposed some endpoints, customized endpoints for the screencast numbers 17 and 10, and Elasticsearch also, and Gedis and Gamefire. That means I almost cover all non-SQL databases. How can you install or configure your non-SQL databases, and then build the necessary models, the entity model or domain models, and expose your and the REST APIs. And after that, you can those REST APIs can integrate any front-end technology. That's I mean. So this is the SQL based technology stack, and this is the non-SQL based technology stack. And depending which backend server you are, you try to deploy or you try to build your application, or what's the requirement from the client side, which backend server they are prepared or they are expecting from your side. And then if they are said no, we have both side, and this is the complex questions. For enterprise question, they say okay, we need a permanence, like in the static or permanent data sets like PostGIS or MySQL and any SQL based database, and plus in the same time we need a non-SQL based database. This is the complex questions. But it is true in the enterprise level application. Sometimes it is with the mixtures of 2 backend servers and mixtures of 2 different technologies, because some enterprise application there is a random data or caching or some lot of data processing or workflow is running. When then they think about like okay, non-SQL is the best solution or optimum solution, they build this one, and then there's a temporary the static little bit static data set, they put it here permanent SQL databases, and then they do it. But it is possible to synchronize the both databases or both services in the same time. But it's depend how your company works and how the enterprise, how complex application is it. And then if it is that both side the requirement was SQL and non-SQL, then you need to be implement that this way. Like you implement your SQL models, your ORM models based on the SQL. Doesn't matter which database you are, MySQL or Oracle or PostgeSQL, it's same thing. Just you need to change your connection properties or your drivers, or even though which platform you are. If you are the non-specific, then you have to go specific database. There is no specific ORM models or your JPA entity models to put it every non-SQL database. That means when you are non-SQL world, you need to be specified your entity model, ORM model, or domain model. What you said, you need to be specified specific database. Like MongoDB, there's own specification. Cassandra has own specification. Redis has own specification. Elasticsearch had own specification, and it has own repositories functionalities. And then you need to be integrate the respective database, respective template, and respective repository, and build your services. That's because non-SQL is object-oriented based database. That's everybody knows already that one. So that's I mean here. So you get the clear pictures. What I give it to here, the idea like, okay, SQL based database is requirements, then you go to this